Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP Omen laptop. Let's see, this is a model 15-DC0020NR. Right, we're going to be using a PH1 or JIS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. The battery is actually all bulged out, so we're going to be changing that. Anyways, let's go ahead and remove the screws. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I keep them in order is I put them flat side down like this on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we're going to get 4 over here, 1 on either side, and then we got 2 more in the front here. All right, looks like these back 2 screws are longer than the rest. And they do seem to be missing 1 screw. I'll have to see if I have a matching screw to replace it with. We'll see. Okay, let's go ahead and get all these screws out. One more here. All right, and if we're lucky, this case should just pop open. You can see actually it's already kind of popping itself open from the battery, but normally what I would do is I would slowly, carefully open up the screen. We would get in here, I would use my fingernails, and I would push with my thumbs here while I kind of pull this out. As you can see, you can also try with a suction cup, like over here. Did it just drop? Oh, I dropped one of those little razor blades. Okay, anyways, you can use a suction cup and you can try and get this open from the sides like this. Again, I'm just sliding my fingernails up along the edges. It's going to be hard for me to show how this normally would work because, again, it was already popped out slightly from the bulging battery. But here you can see we're popping these clips out just like this. All right, it's kind of stuck here, so let's kind of work our way around. The center feels like something is stuck in there. Gonna kind of work our way over. Let's work our way to the side here. Usually you can kind of like wiggle and pull it over sideways or something. So let's try and do that. No, okay, we got part of that out. As you can see here, you don't want to pull too hard. You don't want to break the clips. We're kind of just moving it around and trying to get it to release. Okay, there you go. So again, I don't know what's holding in the center here. There's a clip in the center that's holding it really strong. I can't really see where it is. There's the giant bulge battery in there that's broken. Okay, so how do we safely get this out without damaging anything? Okay, it looks like you would go along the back here. I don't know if that's going to come out. We'll try. No. I don't want to use too much force and then just rip stuff, so. Okay, so what I did was I kind of pulled it over this direction, and that popped the center out, as you can see. Now the center is kind of coming out. Let's go over to this side again. Same thing, kind of lift it, and then hopefully now we can pull it more down to this direction. Okay, and this side is coming up. What about this side? I don't know why this middle section doesn't want to come out at all. Okay, there we go. And now we're just going to kind of keep wiggling it until it releases. So the tricky part is just getting these clips to release. You kind of have to just keep moving this case around back and forth. There we go. And as you wiggle it, you can see, now we got it out. You can see there's a clip here. There's a clip here. Got all these clips back here. Okay, anyways, we're going to clean this out. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's pretty dusty there. Okay, dusty there. These fans are pretty gross. And this is just going to be somewhat of a quick look inside. The customer just needs me to replace the battery. So let's go ahead and remove these screws holding the battery in place. There are 4 going along the battery here. The battery model number is SR03XL. All right, I'll show you a close-up in a bit. Okay. So I'm not going to be removing everything. Let's go ahead and remove this battery. So to remove the battery, let me actually zoom in. Again, if you need the battery model number, SR03XL. There's also an HP spare part number here, L08855-855. Okay, battery, the way you remove this, let me zoom out again, is you go close to the battery connection here and you just pull it straight up. Once you do that, you can slide it out this way, and here you go. That's the messed up battery. We're going to set that aside. I'm gonna have to actually clean this up first before I replace the battery, but here you can see the trackpad cables going here. Has a little flip latch to release it. There's the trackpad connector here, same thing, flip latch, or sorry, this is the SD card slot connector. Then you got the speaker here. The wire runs along to the other speaker. All right, and they both connect to this one connection here. This has a connector where you kind of just grab it and you kind of just wiggle it as you pull it up. This is a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. One screw, once you remove that, it comes up slightly and then you can pull it back. Okay, you have the keyboard connector here. This has a flip latch to remove it. Keyboard backlight connector. I'm not sure what this big connector is for. They don't have it labeled and there's nothing there. 2.5-inch SATA hard drive right here. Okay, then you got this connector going under here for the USB port, hard drive activity light, and I'm pretty sure the charge port is a separate connector here. Oh, this little cable here is for the hard drive, if you're wondering. And then this larger connector right there, that one, the black plastic one, that is the charge port DC jack connector. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna pop this stuff out. We also got the RAM here. So the RAM, just like every other model, you just pull these tabs to the side, it pops up slightly, and you can go ahead and pull this out. This is a 4 gig PC4 266V, 2666V, all right? So you can put any PC4 2666V, you should be okay. If you want, you can get two 16 gig sticks, you can get two 8 gig sticks. Usually it's best to have matching sticks of RAM. This is a bit annoying to put back just because of this adhesive stuff here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and hold it this way so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, get that in. It goes in at an angle. And then after that, you make sure it pushes down all the way and then click it into place there. Okay, there we go. All right, there's some broken bits of plastic in here. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to brush off the dust from these fans here. You can see kind of how dusty it is. After I brush them, I'm going to use my electric air blower and just blow all that dust out. The other I forgot to mention is the wireless card here. Okay, if you need to see that. Usually you'll want to check your own for that. Then there's the USB port and the audio jacks here with the connector right there. All right, fan connectors right here, of course. There's the black cable with the wires. And underneath here, there's the other fan connector right there, same kind. Okay, I don't know where this big cable is going for this USB board and stuff. I think it's under the motherboard. But yeah, hopefully this video is sufficient for a quick look inside. I'm going to now clean this out again, as I kept saying, and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. Let's go ahead and install the replacement battery here. Okay, so the customer bought this battery. Hopefully it's a good one. All right, so basically just take the battery, slide the bottom feet in first. All right, these two bottom corners. Maybe I should zoom in here. Okay, so slide those two bottom feet in, slowly lower this down. Be careful, make sure you're not damaging any of these wires. Okay, once you've done that, line everything up and push this down. Okay, make sure everything looks good. Then we can go ahead and put the 4 screws back. If you're wondering how to remove the SSD, there's just one screw. Again, it pops up and you can pull it out. If that's not clear enough, you can watch my other computer repair videos. I remove these on pretty much every computer, well, except for the ones where I'm like, I already removed this on other computers. So yeah, and then the hard drive here, if you're wondering how to remove that, it's just in a actually, let me get this battery in and then I'll show you. I'm not going to take it out, but I'll kind of explain what's going on with it. Alright, so we got those 4 screws in. You can see the huge difference here. This battery is like indented. The other one is like inflated. Okay, these kinds of hard drives, it's held in with these rubber pieces, so along the side. And then usually you just pull this part up, okay? It's a little bit tricky, and there's feet down here that hold it in. So you swing it up like this, and then you can slide it out that way. But you do have to disconnect this cable. And I do have other HP laptops with the same design. Here you can see it's coming up, but again, I don't want to rip it out. You do have to just flip this up and unplug that cable before you do that. So yeah, I don't want to mess around with it too much because I don't want them to I don't want to risk having more issues than I started with the customer's computer. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this back into place. Very simple. Line it back up. Click everything back into place. Okay, make sure it's lined up properly. All right, can be a little tricky here. Click all of that back in. This part's the hinge, so it has that gap. That's normal. Then we're going to go ahead and go down the sides, go along the front, push in the center, click that in. Okay, there we go. And then let's get all these screws back in. But that's pretty much all there is to it. I believe the battery acts as the CMOS BIOS battery as well. So when we boot this up, it's very likely going to take a little while to boot up. And then it's going to say that the date and time was reset or the BIOS was reset, something like that. I'll power it up just to show you so we can kind of go through that together. Okay. But other than that, that should be all there is to it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right, let's get all of this back in. I'm gonna see if I have one screw like this to replace. That is a pretty small screw, so I don't know if I have one like that. Possibly one like this. Too big. Possibly this one. That might be. The outside is a little bit bigger. But we can't go too small. I don't know. That one might have to do. About this one. No, that's even bigger. Yeah, the top part of it is a little skinny on this one, so I don't know if I have one that will match properly. These are all like larger. All right, well, let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right. Okay, it fits, not bad. And we'll get the last screw in. And then let's go ahead and power this thing up and see what we got. Set these screws aside. All right, let's flip this over. And let's open this up and power it on. All right, the power button light just flashed. I don't know if it's because it's low on charge. Okay, it might be the BIOS is reset. You see it turned itself back on after it reset once. It might do that a second or third time. You can see the screen is just black right now. Nothing's happening. You can see this power light is still on. We're just going to give it some time. You can see it shut itself off again. Hopefully it's going to turn itself back on. Yes, it is. All right, so don't panic if you change your battery and your computer's doing this. This is most likely normal and the BIOS is just resetting itself. So you can see the power button light is still on. And usually I'll give this like a few minutes if it keeps doing it. And there you go, CMOS reset, just like I said. Okay, there you go. And we're just gonna press enter to reboot the system and we should be okay. Let's go ahead and let it start itself back up again. Okay. Let it go. All right, and the thing is booting and we should be good to go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll wait until the thing finishes. Oh, it's doing a disk check. One other thing, once this finishes starting, you want to actually click restart the computer. You don't want to do a shutdown, you want to do a restart. Okay, that's very important because that will help it reset and then recognize the new hardware changes if you made any hardware changes. Windows did this weird fast startup thing. Okay, it started. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here, start thing, and we're going to click restart down here. All right, and we're going to let it restart. That's very important. If you change the screen, the keyboard, whatever, you want to do this restart. Even if you just took the components out and put them back together, it's a good idea to do a restart. All right, anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.